Hello. A few days ago, I think it might even have been yesterday, MC Toon released a video where he read the entire Antarctic Treaty. And then last night in the part two 5 year on YouTube live stream party that MC Toon and FTFE had, they were talking about the Antarctic Treaty and then they started talking about making other videos where it's read out in other languages. They started talking about fake languages like Klingon and other languages like Elvish or something like that. And there was also additional talk of using computer languages or reading it out in binary or hexadecimal, etc., or different character encodings that different computers might use. And at the very start of all of this discussion, I thought of taking the ASCII text and converting it to EBCDIC, then reading out the hex of that. Then I thought that was not overly unique enough. So then I thought, well, what if I converted it to UTF-16 so you get 16 bits per character and then read out the binary of that? I could drag out a 15-minute reading into something like maybe 12 hours. Then I thought that wasn't overly interesting enough. And then I had a really interesting thought. When I was growing up, we had in our house a Radio Shack color computer. I still have it, by the way. And back then, I was writing a few programs in BASIC and I saved them on cassette tapes. Over the course of 25, 30 years, those cassette tapes ended up more like maybe 35 years. And then since then, the audio cassette tapes were getting a little bit older and not quite as good as they were back then. And audio cassette tapes were extremely temperamental even back then. So the chances of being able to read them, not to mention the only cassette player that I had some few years ago was an old stereo that I had with bad capacitors, and it had a 60 hertz hum to it. So being able to get the data off of those cassette tapes was extremely problematic. So I ended up writing a utility that would show the waveform on the screen. The computer would try its best at detecting the data that was stored on it. And when it ran into a problem, for example, the checksum didn't match, it would stop where it was and it would show me. And then I was able to modify that section of the waveform to clean it up, to get the computer to be able to read it properly, have the checksum pass, and then go on to the next data block. And I was able to go through all of my old audio cassette tapes and extract all of the stuff that I had originally stored on those cassette tapes. Once I had archived the data and stored it securely on newer technology, I left all the programs there and I just moved on with my life until I got to last night. So I dusted those programs off and I decided I was going to get the color computer, or rather to show you a color computer emulator to read the Antarctic Treaty from audio cassette. I'm even going to leave links so that you can get a copy of the WAV files and the cassette files in case you have a color computer and you want to do something similar. And now I'm going to expose an entirely new generation to the joys of using audio cassette tapes to save and retrieve data from a computer. So this is the emulator I'm going to be using. This is going to be fair warning. I am going to play the audio that would have come from the audio cassette tape, but I'm going to mix it very low. So hopefully, even if you're using a headset or something like that, it's not going to sound very loud, hopefully, but just fair warning. So first I'm going to load the program. This is the listing, and I want to run on line 60, not at the beginning. And here I have to switch tapes. So this is a Radio Shack TRS-80 Color Computer reading the Antarctic Treaty from cassette tape and printing it out on the screen as it's being read. Here we go. Well, that may not have been fun, but it certainly was nostalgic, at least for me. This got me thinking about some of the other projects that I could end up working on. It all depends on interest by the greater community out there. I do have a few tools that let me do things like this, specifically for the Coco 2 because I had one and I needed a tool. But that doesn't mean that I can't repurpose these tools, clean them up, and put them out on the internet. So if other people out there are interested in access to tools like this, let me know in the comments below, and I might end up making a few videos, possibly a few live stream videos. Again, the invitation to work on these things live through something like Discord is still open, so feel free to let me know in the comments below. I can certainly resurrect Discord, and we could go down this kind of rabbit trail at least for a little while. Other than that, that's going to be it for now. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, I would appreciate all the good YouTube stuff. You know what to do. And I'm going to see you again in another video at some point soon enough. So bye for now.